Good evening, good morning to everyone who is watching this. So, I am HVD and we are going to discuss on the topic solidification modeling today. So, let's get started with it. So, as for the background of solidification modeling, we can see that uh, it is the important process which is to be done before the process of casting. Uh, to kind of determine what is the flow properties of the melt required, what essential data is required, or what essential preparation is required for doing the casting. So, why consider solidification modeling? So, solidification of melt is the most important process that happens during the casting process, and the analysis of solidification manually is achieved through equations from macro heat transport and momentum transport or mass transport. Now, the problem with this is that the calculations that are involved are very lengthy, they are very complex, and you don't always obtain analytical solutions to those problems. So, there is no final result that you can derive from it. Now, what we do is to get some solutions, we take a lot of assumptions in these equations and thus get the solutions. Now, as the technology has progressed and we have more computing power through the way, numerical methods can be employed, which has detailed calculation and gives us a detailed understanding of the process. Now, this process of applying numerical methods for solidification is known as solidification modeling. Now, moving further, here we have something in as the pipe shrinkage modeling in short freezing range alloy, and it is the surface shrinkage modeling in long freezing range alloy. So that is just one picture to kind of depict shrinkage modeling. Actually, the picture in this also is a shrinkage modeling picture with a different technique. This is the volume control method, and this is the thermal control method. So what is our objective in this presentation? Our objective is understanding the steps of solidification modeling, evolution of modeling processes, all different types of modeling processes, and future prospect and a conclusion along with it. So already a lot of different videos can be found on different kinds of solidification modeling processes, but we are trying to give a umbrella presentation here. So moving on with it. Solidification macro modeling. So all modeling processes consist of three major steps as shown. First is the formulation of problem. Second is discretizing of the governing equations, that is making the mesh or making the elements. And the third is solving a system of algebraic equations. Simple. So now the different methods that are there for different steps, that makes the variety of solidification modeling processes that are there. So the first two problem, so for the first, that is the problem formation, there are three or four kinds of methods that is based on enthalpy, specific heat or temperature, from three different methods for problem formation. Coming on to the discretization, there are five different or four different methods which can be used. That is the finite differences method, variational formulation, boundary element method, and method of weighted residuals. That is a volume control method or finite element method, FEM. Now the final step is solution of equation, which is mostly the same for all, but certain differences are there. Now the differences mostly come in the FDM part. They are analyzed in the FDM part, or there is uh, the difference. Like uh, the calculation can be attempted in a implicit way and an explicit way. That is, there could be calculation inside the process, and there could be the calculation out after the two steps have been finished. And it is seen that when it is inside the process, it is very stable, but memory space is required is larger. When it is explicit, the time required is larger, but the calculation is simple and low memory is required. There are two differences. This is a architecture of a comprehensive casting model. So there are some empirical rules that we have. We put it into a knowledge-based design that we have on based on the theoretical knowledge. We incorporate into this the drawing of the casting that we need. We also incorporate into this the material properties and the boundary conditions that we can analyze. What this leads us to is the solidification simulation, and what solidification simulation can give us is the stress analysis, the fluid flow analysis, the evolution of the microstructure, and the prediction of the soundness of the casting. Moving forward, uh, evolution. So this in this slide in totality gives us a brief overview of how solidification modeling as a process has been developed. So macro modeling in the previous slides, which was shown like the diagram or the architecture which was shown in the previous slide, was the macro modeling uh, of solidification, and that came through first. In it gained traction during the 1980s. Um since then, a lot of evolution has occurred, as it is evident. The aim of macro modeling was to stimulate the casting process to look at the major shrinkage regions, defect formation areas, to the analysis of heat transport. But as we progressed, there was a requirement of more detailed studies in the defects only. So there were shrinkage modeling development was there, and also kind of porosity modeling development was there, segregation modeling development was there, which all focused on just the defects which can occur during the casting. And these happened during the 1990s when we arrived at micro segregation modeling. Finally, so micro shrinkage modeling was also there, and it used thermal stress analysis, fluid flow, nucleation and growth, gas pore models, and these are some of the different type of model strategies that it employed. Finally, with greater development in technology in 2000, we got the micro modeling. And what exactly is micro modeling? It can be divided into three broad parts, that is deterministic, probabilistic, and phase field models, which has been discussed by uh, many of the other creators and my friends on YouTube. So, micro modeling employs numerical methods which couple macro transport, that is the heat transport and momentum transport, along with the transformation kinetics, which helps in minute visualization of microstructure evolution during the casting process. Uh, the different types of images can be seen in the image here. So deterministic has analytical, quaternion, phase field, and molecular dynamics, and probabilistic has Monte Carlo and cellular automation. From all this, we get five types of micro modeling: dendrite tape, molecular dynamics, etc., etc. So as we move forward, more advancements still continue to happen in the process of modeling, from micro to meso to further atomic levels. And as a conclusion, it should be understood that modeling was developed to control solidification for better and smoother castings. But what has happened in the process is, as micromodeling has evolved, it has helped us better our understanding of solidification as a process. So that is how we end it. And thanks for listening. Have a nice day.